All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Call of Cthulhu, looking at character generation. Now, in the last video, we went through what the characteristics were, what they mean, and what we can infer from how the game had us roll these stats. And today, we're going to talk about your occupation. What does your investigator do? Let's find out.
We welcome all people, regardless of background, belief, or identity, to play tabletop role-playing games. Let's engage our imaginations, pull a veil over reality, and immerse ourselves in fantastic worlds. Don't be a disruption at the table, and always remember, it's just a game. The charity we support is the Wounded Warrior Project, a national, nonpartisan organization whose mission is to honor and empower wounded warriors. Please refer to the description below for the link to where you can make your, hopefully, tax-deductible donation. Join us Thursday and Saturday evenings on twitch.tv/Legion of Myth to watch Heathen Dog and his team of dirty casuals play multiplayer games for your mockery and enjoyment. Here on our YouTube channel, you can watch these game-related segments live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time, or check out the Friday night stream where our panel of guests opine, comment, and editorialize on the TTRPG hobby as a whole. Please leave us a comment with your thoughts and experiences. If you enjoy our gaming content, please be sure to subscribe to Legion of Myth.
Okay, we are back. And like I said, we're Call of Cthulhu 7th edition, and we are going to look at occupation. And occupation. There we go.
I want to be a bus driver.
You can be a bus driver. That's complete. What? Watch this. Watch it.
A bus versus a Cthulhu monster?
It depends on the size. But anyway, let's go there. An occupation shows how an investigator makes a living, be it as a doctor, student, or low-life fraudster. An occupation also reflects a particular investigator's field of expertise, and so dictates which of their skills should be higher. Yes, if you are a bus driver, you are not going to have theoretical physics as one of your higher skills.
Hey, it's paying my way through college, man.
Sorry, buddy. That's not working out. That's not going to happen. Sorry. The actual occupation of your investigator will have limited effect during the game. It's simply a basis for your investigator's starting skills and helping to define his or her backstory. Some occupations are typically Lovecraftian: antiquarian, author, dilettante, doctor of medicine, journalist, police detective, and professor. Other occupations are not those you would normally find in a Lovecraft story. However, they may interest particular players and be fun to play in a Call of Cthulhu game. It depends on also the time period you are in. If you are in 1990s or 2000s, you're probably not an antiquarian. You're probably not.
Can I be a computer hacker in 1920?
Yeah, you're probably going to be a computer hacker or something more often than not, or some more relevant skill to the time period. You're not going to be a font of knowledge for rare books and pottery and crap. It's probably not going to happen. I mean, there are those people. Don't get me wrong. Antiques Roadshow is a thing, but it's not a thing for most people. All right. So there it is. An occupation ties together a cluster of skills. For instance, in the sample occupations, antiquarian encompasses appraise, art/craft, history, library use, other language, one interpersonal skill, charm, fast talk, intimidate, or persuade, spot hidden, and one other skill of the player's choice to reflect something special or relevant about the investigator's past. But all of the main skills that you're getting are based on your occupation, because most people learn as they do. And if you're a professional student, well, then you have a lot of theoretical skills and no skills that are actually useful in real life. So there you go. But all these skills are useful in being an antiquarian. Once you have chosen your occupation for your investigator, write it down on the investigator sheet and then make a note of the occupation's professional skills. Sample occupations are found on page 40. Okay, thank you. Okay, this is the quick reference. Got to zoom out a little bit. There we go. Wow, that is horrible.
It's blinking.
That is blinking. I don't like it.
Strobe document.
Why is it doing this? I don't.
Is it happening on your computer or just StreamYard?
Yes, it's happening on my. Okay, I can stop it. That's great. Good on me. Still ridiculous. All right. Let's see what it says. Determining characteristics. We already did that. We already got the modifiers. We already did that. We are not going to be 80 years old. Derived attributes. We already talked about that. Determining movement rate. We already talked about that. Okay, we're ahead of the game. Ahead of the game. Now we move over to the other side.
Carver 6661313 says it's meant to drive you insane. So it's actually a feature, not a bug.
It's a feature, not a bug. Okay, yeah. Cool. I get it. Why did it do that? Here we go. Create a backstory, determine finances. We're gonna explain all this. Don't worry. Gear and equipment, your fellow investigators, combat values, and personal interest skills. Okay, we're gonna talk all about it. This is just the fast chart, right? If you already know, but we're gonna talk about all of this. Step 3: decide skills and allocate skill points. Occupational skills. After you have chosen an occupation, calculate your occupation skill points using the characteristics specified alongside the occupation. That didn't make a whole lot of sense. Let's see if it keeps going. Allocate the resulting total as percentage points among those skills listed for the occupation. Your investigator's professional skills. Points should also be allocated to credit rating within the range indicated for the occupation. Not all the skills need to have points allotted to them. However, points must left undistributed are lost. Note that each skill has a number of brackets next to. Okay, to understand this better, we have to look at some skills.
Constitution 0 is dead. What?
Okay, I didn't see any occupations. Did you?
I see education power. That's just the attributes. Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, that's great. It's probably under skills. That sucks. Okay, from what I'm getting so far is there is a percentage of your skill points that you must allocate to something related to your occupation. And for each occupation in this book that's given to you, that work has already been done. Now, if you and your keeper want to create a new occupation or change an occupation, hey, that's on you guys. You're going to have to do the work behind the scenes to make it up to snuff with the rules of the game. Write down the total points for each skill on the investigator sheet, the points you've allocated plus the base chance printed in the investigator sheet. The sheet also has space to write in the half and fifth values for each skill, allowing you to reference them quickly in the middle of a game. Apparently, sometimes in this version of the book, you're rolling a half of your skill or a fifth of your skill for some rolls. Could it be more difficult and Herculean effort type thing? Maybe. We'll find out when we talk about skills next.
Learn me, heathen dog. Learn me.
There you go. The sheet also has space right out here. Got that? A quick reference chart for half and fifth values can be found on page 49, which is right before the skills list.
Or 50.
It is advised that you allocate occupational skill points and then personal interest skill points before writing in all these values, as personal interest skill points can be used to bolster occupation skills as well as other non-occupation skills. Okay, here we go. So from what I'm reading right here, this is what I'm thinking. A certain percentage, a large percentage of your skills have to go to your occupation. What's left over is whatever you want. Whatever, this is your private stuff. This is you learned it as funsies, hobbies, whatever. Or it's just something that you grew up doing. Like, you are not a fisherman, but you grew up on a lake. You know how to fish. You have to use your personal skills, your personal skill count to get fishing.
Hey, it's like Palladium secondary skills.
Sure. But if you decide, fishing was never for me, you can use all of those personal allocated skills to bolster your occupation skills. You just threw yourself into work. That's fine. 100% fine. Do that. It's great. Personal interest. Investigators also draw upon experience, skills, and knowledge gained from hobbies and other non-professional activities called personal interests. Multiply the investigator's intelligence times 2 and allot the points to any skills, which can include adding further points to occupational skills, like I said, except mythos skills. No.
Aww.
Unless otherwise agreed by the keeper. No. Mythos skill is only gotten through experience. You don't want 20 in a mythos skill. It brings your max sanity down by that amount. And the more you understand about the mythos, the least sane you're going to be. All right. So calm down with that mythos skill. Just get it in game. Shut up. Write down the total points for each skill on the investigator sheet, the points you've allocated plus the base chance. The sheet also has space to write in half and fifth. Do it at the end. We already know that. Weapons and firearm skill. Fighting and firearm skills and their various specializations allow an investigator to use weapons. Personal interest or occupation skill points, if applicable, may be spent to raise any of these skills. Think of it this way. If you're a cop, you're gonna have handgun, you're gonna have shotgun skill. Okay? Bare minimum. But if you're a taxi driver, you're not gonna learn firearm skill through your occupation. You have to use personal interest. But if you're a cop, you can increase your firearm skill, any of them, using personal interest points because they can go anywhere. When an occupation includes the skill of fighting or firearms and no specialization is specified, it's up to the player to choose one or more specializations for that skill. That's chapter 4 skills. We're going to talk about that later. Credit rating. Starting credit rating is determined during character creation based upon your chosen profession. And that's starting at page 40. In play, credit rating determines the amount of money a character has available. Credit rating also indicates the general living standards a person can afford, as well as indicating the character's relative status in society. So, if you are a heart surgeon, you're going to have a much higher credit rating than a busboy at Chili's, right? So you're going to have a higher lifestyle and higher status because of it. That makes a lot of sense to me. I get it. Now, the guy at Chili's could be working himself through college in his third year and has a higher intelligence and therefore higher skills than the heart surgeon. The heart surgeon focused all of his skills on, guess what? Being a heart surgeon. So there's gaps in his knowledge that the Chi-Chi's guy can fill. So that's why having a heart surgeon and a Chi-Chi's busboy in your game in the same group is not self-defeating. You're covering for the gaps in one character's highly specialized knowledge. Your investigator's credit rating starts at 0 at character creation. The range of starting level of a profession can be broad. And the level chosen should reflect the investigator's rank in that profession. For example, criminal would be used as a profession for a poor lone pickpocket or for a wealthy gang boss. Any number of skill points can be invested in credit rating within the recommended limits for that profession. Okay. So if your profession is criminal and you just want to be like a regular mugger, you don't need to spend all the points in your credit rating. But if you want to be a mob boss lieutenant or a made man or something like that, you're going to have to spend skill points into credit rating to justify your status. So there you go. The higher status you want to be, the higher your credit rating in this game.
Unfortunately, I can't listen to the rest of this now because all I have in my head is Viva the Dirt Leagues. We're buggers. We're going to mug them.
We're going to mug them. Yeah. Create a backstory. Is that? Yep. Okay. It's right here. Most of the ideas and abilities that make an investigator interesting and fun to play are a matter of choice, not necessarily die roll results. Think about what personal history, friends, enemies, and achievements could have led your investigator to delve into the secrets of the mythos or to explain all of your skills and how you chose them. There are 10 categories listed on the back of the investigator sheet. Try to write down at least one entry for the first 6. Personal description, ideology, beliefs, significant people, meaningful locations, treasured possessions, and traits. This is new. This is not in 5th. It's not essential to have an entry for each category, but the more you're able to define, the more your investigator comes to life. Further entries may be added or existing ones altered during play. Okay, this makes sense. This is a lot of more modern games are doing this as well. You are defining your character more easily by coming up with broad traits and backstory events, so in your head you can mold what the character actually is in an easier fashion. I get it. Especially if the player is new, it will help them role play their investigator much better. The categories of injuries, scars, phobias, manias, arcane tomes, spells and artifacts, and encounters with strange entities may be written during play. Obviously, well, not obviously, but probably will, because most keepers start off the characters as not knowing about the mythos and being introduced to it during gameplay.
Where you're going to be mentally and physically tortured, at least indirectly, you don't want to start off with phobias and manias already.
No, don't worry, man. You're coming to that bridge. You're going to cross it. All right. You don't need to pre-cross that bridge. Calm down. An investigator's background serves 3 functions. First, as a set of pithy statements that serve as a guide of role-playing, helping to define your investigator and remind you how he or she relates to the world. Again, helping you role-play the investigator that you've envisioned in your head. If you're a new player to role-playing games or new to Call of Cthulhu, this will help you stay on track. I got no problem with it. It's fine.
That art looks like Vason art.
Yeah. Sample occupations. Okay, here's a sample of the list that's probably much more later. Antiquarian, artist. Let's do more modern stuff.
Drifter.
No, it's not modern.
I know.
Engineer. There we go. Art/craft, electrical repair, library use, mechanical repair, operate heavy machinery, science, engineering, science, physics, any one other skill. Your credit rating must be between 30 and 60. Your occupational skill points are your education times 4. So whatever your education characteristic is, it's going to be somewhere between 40 and 18 times 5 is 90. Somewhere between 40 and 90. Okay, so you're going to have between 40 and 90 points to spend on your occupation skills. All of these skills, plus one other. That's cool. I can dig it. Entertainer, like us. We're YouTube entertainers. Okay.
I was going with the pole dancer.
Was that? No, we're not going to do a pole dance. Art, craft, acting, disguise, 2 interpersonal skills, listen, psychology, and 2 other skills. Your credit rating can be anywhere between 90 and 70. This will indicate your success as an entertainer. If you're like us, we have 9. If you're like Mr. Beast, he has 70. Probably more now. He's been playing for a while. Right? But he will have a much higher because he has more status. He has more wealth. So that is in the credit rating. But I don't want to spend points on credit rating. It seems like an idiot thing. Yes, that means you're starting out as an actor. That's fine too.
After the stream, I'm going to talk with Heathen Dog about how to promote us better. We're not 9s.
We're not 9. We're 10s, baby. Double digits all the way.
We're double digits. Yep.
That's right. But check it out. Occupational skill points, education times 2 plus appearance times 2. Because as an actor, if you are ugly, you're going to get less parts. Ask any character actor out there. If they're been acting as a character actor for 20 years, they're not good enough looking to be a main character, but their acting is solid, so they keep getting paid. If you're ugly, get off TikTok, get off YouTube, get off Twitch, get off my TV. All right, you're not a good actor, and it's going to be reflected.
Does not endorse this message because we would like to still have people watch us.
No. It's reflected in your skill points. The uglier you are, the less skill you have in being an actor. That's according to 7th edition. That's not me. That's the game.
The less skill you have at being pretty.
Yeah, which is part of being an actor. Sorry. Hacker. There you go. Skill points, education times 4, credit rating between 10 and 70. Are you an established, successful hacker? You're closer to 70. Are you a newbie who's breaking into, I don't know, your local credit union and stealing a junk file just to prove you did it? I don't know. You will when you allocate skill points to your credit rating. And those are the examples. I'm not going to keep going, but that's what it is.
Ooh, beeps emotional. Wow,
look at that. Second, they can be called upon during an investigator development phase We'll find out what that is later. For the recovery of sanity points. Third, and the higher skills, if you get accomplished, I think it's like 80 or 88 in a skill, you get a one-time bonus of, it used to be 2d6 sanity points, because you accomplished something great. You became a master of a certain skill. That brings up your self-esteem, that brings up your sanity. Third, and perhaps most importantly of all, the corruption of an investigator's background mirrors their loss of sanity and growing knowledge of the mythos, as all that was once held dear becomes meaningless. This is where it gets dark, people. During episodes of insanity or as a result of major wounds, the keeper may add or amend a background entry. Ultimately, the investigator's only connections to the world are madness and pain. That got dark, right? Real quick. Yes. The longer you play this game, the less you're going to be attached to human things. Because the more sanity you lose and the more mythos knowledge you gain, the less human knowledge matters. You used to help old ladies across the street. Now you watch them get hit and it doesn't even affect you. That can happen. It's not great. You're losing your humanity, but as long as you still get the job done, whatever. There's going to be a slippery slope point, though. There's going to be a turning point. That's when you become an NPC. When crafting background entries, be specific, emotional, and emphatic. Try to phrase each entry to emphasize its personal nature. For example, my wife identifies a subject but tells us nothing about the nature of your relationship. Specify a name, name the person or place, identify the item or concept, attach a feeling. Start with positive or negative and build from there. Say, my loving wife, Carol, rather than just my wife. Or my harpy of a bitch wife, Denise.
That hussy.
My hussy of a wife, Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
At that point, you dug your own grave on that one. You married someone named Cinnamon, right? But hey, that tells a lot, not only about your wife, but about you, your character. You can use random tables. Sometimes coming up with the background details on the fly can be difficult. The following random table provides a way to quickly determine some background details. As appropriate, roll 1d10 on each of the following charts and select an entry or category. Okay. Ideology, beliefs, significant people, treasured possessions, meaningful locations, traits. If you don't want to think about it and just roll, you can do it. You can just roll. Or you start rolling, then you get a really great idea and you stop, and then you choose from then on. That's wonderful. I love it. The game actually helped you get a light bulb moment, and now you know where you want the character to go. Stop rolling randomly. Chart your own course from then on. Perfect. I love it. Additional details. Birthplace. Most of Lovecraft's stories are taking place in New England. Fair. You can choose to start there if you wish. However, your investigator could originate from anywhere in the world. You could actually be from Kenya or Russia or Australia, and you moved to Massachusetts or Delaware or Maine or whatever, right? An investigator born in Quebec might learn French at infancy, while one born in Arizona might have Spanish or Navajo, and one born in San Francisco might speak Cantonese. Probably not.
Atlantis?
If you're born in Atlantis, you're a mythos monster. You're not a player character. Gender of the investigator can be male or female. Hard stop. Period. Let's see if they continue. No game rule distinguishes between male or female. Neither sex has an advantage over the other. Players are encouraged to play either sex based upon their preference rather than tactical considerations. Some published scenarios may consider the effect of gender in specific societies and historical periods. I love it. This game just said your sex is male or your gender is male or female. Hard stop. It also says it doesn't matter, but it also said
well, it doesn't matter for game mechanics.
Doesn't matter for game mechanics, so choose either one. But I don't want to choose either one. Sorry, choose one or the other. That first sentence was very telling.
Okay, let's...
Name. Dude, really? I'm not reading that. Picture. You want to draw a picture of your character? Fine.
Look, that. This is a deep dive. I want you drawing right now.
I'm not drawing a picture. What I would do is Google the crap out of, say, you're playing in the 1920s, you're a doctor in New England. Just type in New England doctor 1920. Search, image, go. Pick one.
Or, as some people have been seeing, I've been using AI art to do those caption these picture images. I've got some pretty good Call of Cthulhu ones that have been popping
There you
out.
go. See, you could do that too. But how much did that cost? It's not
Zero.
free, right? It's free?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now we're going for equipment. We're going to equip the investigator. Your investigator's day-to-day living standards are dictated by their credit rating score. The likelihood of owning major possessions, such as a house or car, are also indicated by the credit rating score. The keeper will advise on what other equipment an investigator may start out with. A player may buy additional items. Now, from what I understand, we'll figure it out in a minute, your occupation will give you some things. Okay. If you are a bus driver, you get a uniform and a hat, right? You have a license, Class B license, whatever. If you're a cop, you get a gun, you get a badge, you get a uniform.
Can I have body armor too?
And you get body armor too, right? So you're going to get things because of your occupation. If you want more things, that's where cash and assets come in. The following amounts in US dollars by period denote the wealth of an investigator. That makes sense, right? Cash is readily available to the investigator, whereas wealth that is tied up in assets can only be spent if the time is right to realize the capital. So if you have $1 million in stocks, you don't have $1 million. You have to liquidate that first, and then you have $1 million. Right? So that makes sense. If you have a house that's worth $100,000, you don't have $100,000, right? You got to liquidate the house. Credit rating 0, penniless. Woo-hoo. A person cannot even afford the level of poor is considered penniless. Accommodation. Such a person will be living on the street, travel, walking, hitchhiking, or stowing away on a train or ship. Oh my God, you're a hobo.
I'm so poor, I'm po.
Even a credit rating of 1 makes you poor and not penniless. I would say that's a distinction without a difference, but hey, whatever. Able to afford the bare minimum of a roof over your head and at least one meager meal each day. You are restricted to the cheapest rental housing or flea bag hotel. Travel, public transport of the cheapest sort. Any transport possessed will be cheap and unreliable.
I'm hopping over. What are you talking about? Those turnstiles? I'm hopping over all of them.
Hey, you can get arrested by the bus.
3 hots and a cot, baby.
There you go. That is actually true. Better than what you got right now. Credit rating average 10 to 49. That is a large average range. I disagree with that in reality, but with the game, it may work. A reasonable level of comfort, 3 meals a day, and an occasional treat. Accommodation, average home or apartment, either rented or privately owned. Expect to stay in moderately priced hotels. Yeah, 2.5-star hotels. Red Roof Inn, here I come. All right. There's no Ritz-Carlton for you.
Oh.
Standard forms of travel can be used, but not first class. In a modern day period, this person would likely own a reliable car. You have a Honda Civic. It's probably between 5 and 7 years old, but it's yours. Okay. Those things will run to 200,000 miles. That's great. Then let's go up to rich. No, super rich. 99. 99. This is the top 1%. As rich, but money is really no object. Individuals in this category are among. Okay. At a credit rating of 99, you no longer have to care about your credit rating because it doesn't matter. You have all the money you want. Let's see what happens with rich. Great luxury and comfort. Accommodation. A plush residence or estate with abundant domestic help. Butler, servants, cleaner, gardener. Second homes in the country and abroad. Not either. And so you stay in top hotels. Travel. First class. In the modern day, this person would own numerous luxury cars. You got Lambos. You got lots of Lambos. There is no requirement for making any account for accommodation, food, or incidental travel expenses as long as the investigator's spending falls within the bounds of his or her living standard. Refer to cash and assets if the investigator wishes to make more significant purchases. Okay, unless you want to buy an island or you want to fund the transition of power in a third world country, you don't have to worry about it. You have the money. Now, if you're super rich, you don't have to worry about you can do anything. You can do anything. You're the super rich is Bezos. You don't.
But can I buy off a Cthulhu demon?
No, they don't think of money the same way we do.
We haven't corrupted them enough yet.
We don't need to look over this. This is everything I said. Equipment. The final step is to write down any important items, weapons, or equipment your investigator possesses. There's no need to write a detailed list of everything your character owns. Just list the notable items. In many cases, starting investigators don't really have anything exceptional or worth writing down in the way of equipment. That's fine, as you'll soon be uncovering all sorts of strange and remarkable things in the course of the gameplay. Even if your investigator takes no weapons, he or she may still use them. Just because I don't own a gun doesn't mean I can't shoot a gun. Or just because I own a gun doesn't mean I can shoot a gun. I've seen a lot of Karens out there who carry a gun, but are more likely to shoot themselves in the face than an assailant because they've taken no training. Don't do that. That's horrible. Okay, this is cash and assets. This is a really quick and dirty way to figure out if you have enough money to buy something. Okay, so penniless, credit rating 0. Can't have less than that. Shut up, dude. Credit rating 0. You have literally 2 quarters to rub together. That's all of your money and no assets. Your spending level is 50 cents. Okay, anything greater than that, you can't do it. Let's go to rich. At any given time, your credit rating times 20. So at minimum, $1,800 in your pocket at all times.
I do not like walking around with that kind of cash.
I know you don't, but they have butlers and drivers and shit. They're not walking around alone. All right? They're not walking around alone. Now, this over here, spending level, I have no idea what this means. It must be beginning. I'm going to have to look at that. Other ways of creating. Oh, modern. Oh no, that was before. That's 1920s. Modern. Cash in your pocket. If you are rich, you have this much cash to spend on something at all times. 36 to 39 grand. Assets, $3.6 to $3.9 million in total assets. Okay, so that's great. But if you're super rich, get your credit rating 99. $1 million is like, I can spend that today. That's fine. You have over $100 million in assets, and your spending level, maybe that's what spending level is. Like in any single purchase, you don't have to roll if it's 100,000 or less.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would make some more sense. So I like that. I like that. But you can pull together $1 million in cash at any moment, and you have over 100 million in assets.
Mr. Bezos, your card has been declined.
Say what now? I doubt it. If you don't like your die roll, then start over. Okay. Okay. These are options. These are options for making your character, not the way they want it, but this is other optional ways. Now, if you want to read this on your own, that's fine. Option 1, I'm all aboard with. If you don't like your stats, start over. Keep rolling. It's until the keeper says, dude, I'm not going to be here all day. Pick a lane.
I have to have all 18s.
No, then that's not reasonable for you. That's not reasonable for anyone. Modifying low rolls. Coward. Choosing where to place rolled characteristics. That's okay. Fine. Only on like rolls. 3d6s can go to other 3d6s. You can't move a 2d6 plus 6 to a 3d6 slot. Remember in the last video in character generation, education and intelligence were 2d6 plus 6. On average, that's better than 3d6. You can't move intelligence to a strength slot. You can't move intelligence to an appearance slot. No, they're different die rolls. They're fundamentally different. So if I was going to allow you to move die rolls around, they would have to have the same dice when rolled. By characteristics, you can start off with 460 points and just place them where you want. I never liked it. Quick fire method. This method is recommended if you wish to get up and running quickly. Allocate 40, 50, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, 80, wherever you want. Add all the modifiers for education, add modifiers for damage and bonus, add modifiers for age, and you're done. You have all your stats now. Now you can get your professional skills, your personal interest skills, place them, done, go. You can be on the ground and running in 20 minutes. Done. That's fine. I can get with that. Reaching the heights of potential. You may have noticed that many characteristics have a maximum of 99, but the die rolls only allow for a maximum score of 90. If you wish to allow for truly exceptional investigators, allow an extra 1d10%. Nope. I'm not even going to continue reading that. A cap on starting skill values. This makes sense because you don't want someone just to start off with a credit rating of 99 because that is like Cheaterville. Okay. There's a lot of problems that you can just throw 100 grand at and literally make go away. You don't want them to do that. So what is like this one right here, 75. Maximum starting skill of 75. Can you raise it later? Of course. Can you raise it through gameplay like credit rating? Sure. But you're only going to get 75 to start off. This already makes you wealthy. All right? It already makes you wealthy. You're not super rich and you're not rich. You're wealthy, which is fine. Quick reference chart for half and fifth values. This is, I imagine, when we get into skills, we'll find out more, but I imagine that when a skill is difficult, it's a half skill check. When it's near impossible, it's a fifth skill check, but we'll see if I'm right later on. And this is an example of a character sheet. There's your half skill check. There's your fifth. Okay. I got it. Sanity 45, because guess what? That's your power rating. It's your sanity. Major wound, no. Hit points 15, because that is 1/5 of your con. Close. Oh, you got a +1 because of size, maybe. I don't know. Because of build. Maybe you got a +1 because of build. Because size plus strength is 100. No, I don't think you got that either. Well, we'll figure that out later too.
Wait, wasn't it plus? Yeah. If you had a decent size, you got a +1d6, or is that just
that could be because of build. I don't know. But we have 9 magic points because 1/5 of power is 9, and we have luck. Now, before, luck wasn't a usable statistic. Now it is. So we'll get into that in gameplay, but luck is a much greater factor in this game. And then we have investigator skills, archaeology, art, craft. Here's the main skill, 1/2, 1/5. Unarmed combat, regular 25. Yep, 25%. That, I believe that's the base. Hard, hard and extreme. Okay, I was right. If it follows this, then if a task is difficult or you're under horrible circumstance, it's a hard, which is half your skill. If it's under an extreme circumstance or extremely difficult, it's 1/5. That makes sense. I can get with that. Damage bonus none, build 0. Dodge 27, because dodge starts off at half your dex, which is 20. What's his dex? Dex is 55. Oh, okay. So that would be 25 plus 2.5. It's rounded down. It's half your dex rounded down. Yeah, that'd be 27. And there's your backstory. You have personal description, ideological belief. This is the backside of the character sheet, people. Significant people, tries to possess. You notice that all of these are not done because you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot right out of the gate. You don't want injuries and scars unless they're part of your backstory and it's important to you. You definitely don't want any phobias or manias yet, man. Don't do that. The keeper is probably not going to give you spells right out of the gate. That's dumb. Gear and possessions, notebook and pen and camera. Spending level, average. 10, this is for his time period. $10, a lot of money. Absolute maximum cash you could get at one time, 82. Your total assets over $2,000. That's if you liquidated everything you have, you'd have $2,000. This is obviously 1920s. Yeah, 1920s era investigator. Right there. So yeah, okay, I get it. And quick reference. Oh, it gives you quick reference stuff. Okay, tells you wounds and healing, how much heal, fumbles are, what fails are, regular skill checks. This is pretty cool. Okay.
I don't like how Cthulhu binds this all together.
I know, but it's really the truth, right? But that is all for character creation. Now, I would put that skills are inside character creation, but they did something else. So next, we're going to look at skills. We're going to look at your occupational skills, your interpersonal skills, how they work. how to put skills on your character sheet, all that good stuff. So at the end of that, you will have a fully functioning character and you can now play the game. So until then, thank you very much. Have a good one. Now let's look at some chat.
Now, most of the chat was just people making fun of the different jobs, so I don't have a lot starred.
Fair enough.
Oh, did I keep those? Oh, hold on. I think I didn't unstar the ones from last time. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I don't know. 80-year-old bus driver with a get off my lawn attitude sounds like a real zinger of a character.
Hey, you know what? You can do it. You're going to have a whole crap ton of skills, especially if your education was already high. Then you get to or no, if it was mid-range, you're going to get up to 70 probably because you have 4 adjustment rolls to make. That's great. Although, do not get into a fist fight or a foot chase or get hit by anything greater than a breeze. You're going to die.
Just hold your walker out in front of you.
Yes, hold your walker as a Ripley cage.
Malachi asked if he's a college student, can he take the basket weaving as a skill?
Yes. It depends on what your keeper thinks of college. I have a very low opinion of college. 90% of everything a college offers is worthless.
Nowadays, yeah.
Yeah, nowadays. So yeah, then yes, you would have a basket weaving as a skill, and you will, by definition, be surprised that it's not useful.
And from there, I started realizing, oh, wait, they're talking about pole dancers. Oh, no, that was me. They were talking about other types of jobs. Yeah, my cat, she wants attention. Oh, she wants treats. So, all right, that is it. Let me go to here. So, as Heathen Dog said, the next video is. Oh, give me that. Get that off the screen. Nope, not clicking you. Okay. He said it's going to be skills. We look forward to that. I'm guessing it's going to include some game mechanics as well. We shall find out and how to use those skills. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you in the next video.
All right. Well, that was about 42 minutes. That was fine.